back. Yeah. I haven't seen you in a while. It's been quite some time. What have you been up to?
Maybe I've been killing people.
oh, Matt, you jokester, you, because no normal people wouldn't go out and kill people and then admit it on a video recording. No. I got your back. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry, I got rid of it at your house.
What? Okay. All right. We watched a movie today.
Alice in Murderland.
Alice Visits Detroit. I really wanted to use that one.
Yeah.
It was fun. Alright. Alice Visits... No. Sorry, I got them.
Alice visits our minds and destroys them.
Alice in Murderland.
We have encountered this guy before.
Dennis Devine.
We don't know how to pronounce, if his name is pronounced Divine or Devine or whatever.
We're going to bounce between the two.
Hey, send us an email. Let us know. Send us a video response. That would be even better. We would love to get in contact with the directors of these movies. It's happened a couple times.
If you don't know who this is, he directed other such classics.
Two other movies we have watched.
He reviewed Demon Kiss and Get the Girl.
I will say one thing,
we wouldn't suggest them.
All three of the movies, they're all different.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't fall into any clique that we've seen.
They're all bad.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
It's a little bit of a... Oh, me?
Take your plot.
Wow.
If you can.
All right.
If you can.
I can.
Don't stress yourself.
I'll try.
Okay, so much.
I'm trying to figure out where's the best place to begin. Starts at a flashback.
20 years ago.
20 years in the past.
Shit is going down.
There's this house that a woman is looking into buying. And she gets killed in the basement. She has a 1-year-old alive, and that 1-year-old ends up turning 21 on the course of this movie. And she is named Alice.
Go figure.
And all of her sorority sisters turn...
Our bitches.
Turn her birthday into this big bash, and a house that the one girl uncle owns. Her name's Mallory. And it turns out that it's the same house that her mother was killed in. So they decide to have this big party and make it Alice in Wonderland themed, because that's what normal college kids do. So they go to this party.
These guys could throw a party even if their life depended on it.
Bravo. And one by one...
It's better than half the jokes in this movie.
Throughout the course of the movie, they are killed off by the enigmatic Jabberwocky, who, fuck it, he/she doesn't matter throughout the entire course of the movie, just killing them off, like, towards the very end, mostly.
There are a few towards the beginning. Hysterical.
Eventually, you discover that it is the girl Cat, who was, of course, at the party as a Cheshire Cat.
Kitty.
And her mother was actually the one who killed Alice's mother.
Because
that was
of the dad and something probably really close to the plot of Scream. Just people just getting... Don't stick... I guess this goes back into the whole idea. It's just, guys, and girls for that matter, don't stick your dick or don't let the dick of crazy
get into you. The plot?
No.
All right.
This is a PSA for people out there. Stay away from crazy mofos.
Okay, so moving on
from that point,
there was a sister of the girl named Tiffany who was also in the sorority house.
Get angry, David.
I'm angry at you more than I have the movie. I'm just trying to give a plot. I don't even want to talk about this movie anymore. There was a girl named Tiffany who was also in the sorority house who ended up being the secret sister of the girl named Kat. Her name was Tiffany. She was not important to the entirety of the story.
Yeah.
And they just started killing off all the girls, except when they got towards the end, when 2 of the girls and the adult male who played the Mad Hatter were all still alive. And then like, literally none of the other characters are important. There's like 10 of them. None of them fucking matter.
I don't remember any of the names.
We'll get to them, maybe.
Except for a couple of them.
I don't remember any of them, except for the A couple of them.
Alice, Kat,
Mallory,
Tiffany,
D,
and the other one.
Anyway,
Dumb.
at the very end, you discover that Alice, as she has killed the murderer herself, has somewhat cracked. And in the final moments of the movie, she's like, you know, she said I'd be a killer for life now. And you know what? She was kind of right.
Credits.
Oh my god. Alright, so what...
And also, the two people who were sitting right next to her like...
Yeah, they're just like, it's normal.
Damn, man. Where's her pills? We need her Valium.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I think we should all take some pills.
Alright. What was not good about this movie? Let's start with the acting. I don't think a single one of those girls really knows what emotions are.
You know, the funny thing is with the girl who plays Alice in this movie, we've looked up her filmography. She's basically a dancer.
She is.
All these...
I'm sure she's a
roles.
great dancer.
And she's been like Curious Case of Benjamin Button and Fame and whatnot, but at the same time, though, like she's been a background dancer. So why? What makes you think that
foreground
should be
leading lady?
No, you can. There's plenty of people who make their careers as career extras. They're actually completely necessary.
I mean, if she wants to try to be, she was actually one of the most competently acting people.
Yeah,
she was fun.
To be fair, and again, this goes back a lot. A lot of the acting in this movie is very stagnant, and I wouldn't necessarily blame the actors entirely on that because the script was awful.
It was. Oh my god, I have never...
There's no directing.
How much exposition was there in the first 20 minutes?
God, there's just
20 minutes.
Just going and going.
Constantly. She had like a daydream about her mom dying. When she came back, she was like, oh, you mean you had your dream of your mom dying 2 decades ago because your 21st birthday is coming up? And we're throwing a party for you in the next few days, silly.
And then, like, their friends would, like, just talk to each other openly in front of her about her parents, like, her mom dying and the possibilities of who did what.
There was that one part when they're trying to escape or something. And
they just start going into it.
And they start going into it. And then Al's like, everyone shut the fuck up. And we're like...
Slow clap. Like,
that was beautiful. That was great. We wanted to tell them that the whole movie.
Nah.
Alright, so who all do we have? In the way of Alice in Wonderland characters, we had Alice being Alice, we had the White Rabbit, we had the Queen of Hearts.
Mallory was the White Rabbit. The White Rabbit...
Tiffany?
Tiffany?
No, Tiffany was the cook. Was there a cook in Alice in Wonderland? Was there a chef of some sort?
Probably.
Because I've read through at least a play adaptation. I haven't read through the original Alice in Wonderland.
I have, but it's been a very long time.
I cannot for the life of me remember a chef character or a cook character.
There probably was at least one point.
I cannot. And they don't ever...
There's so much shit because they eat the book and whatnot.
Everyone else they point to, it's like, you're the Red Queen. You're Tweedledum and Tweedledee. You're the Caterpillar. You're the Cheshire Cat. You're the White Rabbit. You're the Mad Hatter. And you're Alice. But the cook, she's there.
I think that's Madison. That's her name, I think.
Who?
The cook.
No, her name was Tiffany.
No, that wasn't Tiffany.
That wasn't Tiffany?
No, it wasn't Tiffany.
Okay.
I think Tiffany was the Red Green. I'm not sure.
There were a few other side supporting characters we need to mention just because we hated them. There was
Mallory's boyfriend.
First we got to start off with the black kid.
That's who he is. That's Mallory's boyfriend. Tiffany's boyfriend. He was said Alice's.
He said when referring to that character, the Mad Hatter character said young mate, which out of that character's mouth, I can't guarantee is meaning boyfriend.
Absolutely it is, dude. Yeah, it is.
The thing is, she wasn't like, if it was a boy, I don't know. Okay.
They never, explained it at all. Okay. I mean, but also at the same time, they interacted in the scene in his office.
Yeah, I guess. Alright, I'll take it. But it's not like he matters because he is literally the biggest fucking douchebag in the whole movie. And he dies first. Black guy dies first.
Well, actually, technically, the mom died first.
If flashbacks ever counted...
Flashbacks do count.
They don't count.
They counted it up. Yeah, you can't say shit.
Alright, you got me there.
But no, I get your point, and his character is inconsequential.
And then
mainly also because one, like, his body was never found, so how come that body was gotten rid of?
Yeah, well, it was the day before the party too, so.
How? Blood leaves a lot of stains. Okay, so I'm like, how? Even if it's a basement, like no.
True. The other character, as so beautifully named Matt, was Alice's ex-boyfriend and I guess Tiffany's current.
Don't fuck with my name.
He's just the
he's
biggest
spineless
meatbag. He's not even
spineless.
He shows up and he's like, I know she's only dating me to get back at you, Alice, but I loved you and I kind of want to get back together.
We'll never, ever get back together.
Oh, well. Pull that one out.
Fuck you, Taylor Swift. No.
But no, he's such a useless character. He's introduced strictly to get killed, really.
Yeah. Well,
they had a whole subplot of him getting into the party, but then he immediately leaves the party once he gets in and dies immediately after that.
I'm also going to say one thing
about
one of the characters. She's the druggy character.
Pima.
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 She goes with them and
at one point the party splits up.
In the very beginning, actually, to get to the party.
Oh, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, and most of them go in a car, and then 3 of them walk through a junkyard because things.
Because it'd be, quote, an adventure.
And the Pima girl goes with them because she's trying to find shrooms. Because they grow in the wild, obviously.
Yes.
But then apparently, though, at the party, she has a huge jar. They're not even the right shrooms, by the way. But at the same time, like, she has a huge jar of them. I'm like, okay, either, like, there is people constantly cultivating shrooms where you people live, or...
They did say, quote, it's the bad side of town.
Yeah, but most...
They probably just met a dealer halfway through the junkyard and cut away from it.
It's like, yo, shrooms. And also the thing is, though, she pawns the shrooms off on people as much as possible, but she never does them herself. I thought she'd be like, oh, I'm gonna say, I was like, oh, the party's where the shrooms are at and whatnot.
Her whole character revolves around her being like the druggie.
And yet she never gets high.
She never does. She has this total knowledge.
So I'm totally gonna clean off these and whatnot. I'm like, why are you not doing them then? Why are you? It's like the equivalent of somebody. It's the equivalent of like going to hang out with somebody. And like your original goal was just like, I don't know, it was like smoke weed and play Mario Kart. But the thing is, though, you get there and the guy says, "Hey, you know what? Let's play Mario Kart before we get high." It's kind of like, why?
I wouldn't even say that. I think it's more of like, "Hey, I have Mario Kart. Here you go." He hands you the controller, and he just sits there watching.
Yeah.
He's like, "I thought we were gonna, do this together." He's like, "No. You play Mario Kart." Okay.
I want to watch. I want to watch you win. So you better win. It holds up a cattle prod.
The other characters I think are worth mentioning, just in passing, the Mad Hatter character. He is the Mallory character's, who plays the White Rabbit, uncle, who owns the house now, because, fuck it, they just need to get into the house somehow. And he's also the only boy allowed at the party because he's cool.
He's also the uncle he owns the place.
He's also the uncle he
owns
the place. It's
get the reason for him, yes.
But you could just ask him, can we have the party at your place instead of, would you like to join our party so we could have it at the place? I mean, it's a bunch of sorority girls and a college professor. He has an office. He teaches a class.
The reasons they have for coming to this house to have this party are weaker than the reasons in Casper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Think about that for a second.
Who else is there? Oh, Tweedledee and Tweedledum. We mentioned one of their names is actually D. I can't remember the other one for the life of me. But it was another
Sweet
D.
Sweet D.
Both stupid as all fuck.
The one who plays dumb is obviously way more dumb than D.
No. D's dumber than dumb.
No.
The one who dies first was dumb.
No. The one who no, because the blonde with the pigtails is dumb.
Are you telling me the character named D didn't play Tweedledee?
No, she did play Tweedledee.
Now I'm confused.
I don't know. It's because you were looking.
No, it wasn't. I was okay. Hold on. The blonde's character is who? Is she D?
The blonde with the pigtails and whatnot was dumb. the
But
brown
her
hair
character's
girl.
name was Dee.
No, the brown hair girl she played Tweedledee, and her name was Dee as well.
I could have sworn that the blonde hair girl's name was Dee.
Well, either way.
Okay.
Regardless, we
they
know
are
who we're
so
talking
interchangeable. Both of them are complete and utter idiots.
Well, no, the one who plays Dee, or at least in my mind, who's playing Dee, the one with the dark hair.
Okay.
And whatnot.
Slightly smarter.
She, the one who gets kind of out of her mind on shrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she wasn't necessarily stupid.
Oh, God.
Necessarily.
You need to mention that one part, though.
It's just the fact of how ridiculous on shrooms she was.
There was a part. There was...
Alright, I'm going to tell you a bit of candor here. I've been in plenty of different places where people who have actually been on shrooms, and this girl has never seen anybody on a shroom trip.
Let me tell you her shroom trip. Because she is very afraid of Alice in Wonderland. Shush. She's very afraid of Alice in Wonderland. Because her parents something told her this growing up. So what does she do whenever she gets high and she sees Cat? Every time, not Cat, sorry, Pima. Every time she goes up to her and she's like, Mother!
And she doesn't even do that too. She's like, Mad Hatter.
So fucking stupid.
If you were scared of the Mad Hatter, wouldn't you run away from the Mad Hatter instead of trying to kill the Mad
I
Hatter?
can understand, but still. Alright.
Unless this is like Fringe and whatnot, with all the people who are like, then the dreams ebb into the real life and they just decide to have to kill people.
Maybe. I think that's really all for characters.
I mean,
when it comes to acting, though, who was good and who was bad? I feel
Mallory was good.
Mallory was good, and Alice were both good. I just didn't like the character of the uncle. He was too, I want to say, naive. I feel like they were trying to play him up to be gay, but it didn't come across as such. He just came across as
or even just homey for that
matter
and whatnot. But the guy playing it, there was the wording was so weird. He kept calling people child.
Oh yeah, he's like, come sweet child.
It's like we're not in Salem, like back during the witch trials.
And this was before he was even like in the Alice in Wonderland niche here.
Yeah.
He was just doing this as him.
And I don't get it. I mean, also at the same time, I understand why the Alice in Wonderland thing was even a trope in these people's nightmares to begin with, because there was no reason for it to be.
I think it was just in Tweedledee and Tweedledum's mind.
No, it was in Alice's too at the very beginning.
No.
She was being chased by the Mad Hatter, and Tweedledee and Tweedledum brought it up again. It's almost as if that they all were having the same dream. Oh. I thought they were going to have it go that way, and there was the whole, that's the destiny interlocking thing, but they never ended up going that way.
I don't remember. I don't think that happened.
That's happened.
Are you sure that?
Yes, I am positive.
Okay, you say so. I'm
positive about this one.
I'm not. Okay, but if you say so, I'll take your word for it. But if he's wrong, that's who you blame, people.
Watch the fucking movie.
Don't watch the anyway. Moving on.
Do you know how many people will watch the movies that we actually?
We're taking far too long here. Let's get down to.
I'm just gonna say a couple things real quick because there isn't much else left to go on this movie because it was just a pigsty.
Technical stuff.
The thing is, well, that's exactly it. One, sound design was not horrible, but at the same time, there were plenty of times that I could tell that they were putting it through low pass and high pass filters on Soundtrack Pro.
I know it's not also sound editing, but when it comes down to the music tracks, dear God Almighty, were they the most boring and generic?
It's the same 4 or 5 chords.
I think we said this in the Get the Girl and Demon Kiss reviews.
Probably has this library that he just uses all the way through.
It's just the same type. Every time there's a stinger, he does this music do-do-do-do. On a piano. Do-do-do-do. And then whenever there's 2 cat fight scenes in this movie.
That go on forever.
And they both use the exact same music, where it's not fight music, it's not tension music.
I will say.
Wow.
Yeah, basically. I will say, though, there are a couple of points where the practical effects were actually pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
For what it was worth and whatnot. It's better than the shit that I've seen in the other movies.
Some of it was kind of the stupid, they just had a mouthful of blood. And you could tell they had a mouthful of blood and were just spitting out. But sometimes they had, a good gushing.
There was a nice squib on them. It was just pumping out. Alright, cool. That was worked and whatnot. It could have been done a little bit better, but at the same time, though, more power to you. Practical effects are hard to do. But at the same time,
I feel like if they did special effects, though,
it would have been. It would have been. I would have been like, oh, you should have done practical effects.
Yeah.
I don't care if you just hit a bag of blood and all of a sudden, pfft. So like it's just.
Yeah.
I respect I give credit where credit's due.
But at the same time, they also didn't. When it came down, they were both very lenient and very stupid with the gore at the same time. There was the blood from like the cut open necks twice in the boyfriend at the beginning and the mom as well, and then there was the sliced open stomach of Matt, that was just great.
You really want to spill my guts? You want me to spill my guts more?
Oh my god, my guts! But then there was also...
Where does it end?
There was also the scene of, what was it? Oh, when the one girl is, for whatever reason, God knows what, super glued to a toilet.
And she rips her own skin off.
First off, this person has shown no mercy in any of the killings, whoever it is. But...
I'm going to get with the gag with super
glue. First they put down super glue, lets them go, and then goes to kill her. Later. And succeeds. Why not just fucking kill her? And her whole thing is like...
Because it would ruin the plot.
Her whole thing was like, yeah, that was funny, wasn't it? No. No, it wasn't. But the reason I brought it up is because they pull her up off the toilet, and there's just these huge bloody marks. Like her skin has literally been torn from her bones. And what do they do? Oh, I think my butt stopped bleeding. Bitch, you need skin grafts. You
wouldn't necessarily need skin grafts, but you would definitely need stitches.
It definitely wouldn't be healed in like 30 minutes, not even. Like they caught the killer and then it's like, oh, my butt's good.
I mean, like if any of you have actually watched it, it was like the opening episode of the second season of Hannibal, if I'm not mistaken. And
spoilers if you haven't seen the second.
Okay, but it's the opening of the episode. It doesn't really spoil the actual episode itself. But one of these victims wakes up in this giant art form version of all these victims, and he's basically like super glued in more ways than one to all these people around him, and the only way to get out is to rip off parts of his own skin. It was very unnerving, very disturbing scene, but at the same time, I'm like, it's good.
And here's...
Pretty good there, NBC.
This popped in my mind just as I was going through that toilet thing. The end of the toilet gag, the whole thing, I think it was leading up to it. The only reason Dennis put it in was so he could make a joke where the adult character, the uncle, comes into the bathroom and he was like, oh my, oh. And she's like, you gotta help me get off the toilet. Or no, he's like, you gotta help me get off. And she's like, what?
Yeah, get off?
Get off? Yeah, you gotta pull on my chest.
Pull on your chest to get you off?
Like, we paused at that point, and I just turned him out. I was like, you just know Dennis was sitting there going, hee.
This line is what I've been doling out to for the first 35 minutes of the movie.
There's no reason not to have killed her at that point. She does nothing else for the rest of the movie. There's no reason not to have killed her, except to get that line out.
Also, I want to say, though, the motivations behind the characters killing the other people and whatnot are weaker than in Dario Argento's Opera, which in other words means that this is one dude who just hung around and just was still crazy for years to come.
Let me ask you something, all right? Your mother kills someone else's mother. Okay?
So I must follow in your footsteps, Mom.
Would you do that? Would you say, oh, I guess I have to kill the daughter, too? Now, if
I have my mother's child.
If you're mentally ill, maybe that'll make sense. Maybe. But most people wouldn't see that as, an option.
It's considered a little crazy.
That's a little weird.
A little nuts.
I just don't understand it. I wish I could. Every single character, and I think the only... Oh, what was the one? They, for some reason, they're trapped in the house now. They had the killer trapped. As far as they knew. There was another killer running around, but they had the killer, the only one they thought, trapped in a room by herself.
So we need to leave. You can't leave. Why not?
Because you're all going to die before that happens. And
I'm just going to walk right out the front door.
But they don't go out the front door for some reason. Because... Stuff. And even like 3 other windows we've seen are open. They
Especially
decide
Matt climbs through a window,
Yeah.
and then climbs back out a window,
Yeah.
and then even the Jabberwocky climbs out the window twice.
Yeah. And what was the other one? Pima? Pima gets outside.
Yeah.
So she goes out as well. It's not that hard to get outside. And yet, for some reason, Mallory and Alice think, oh, we have to climb out through this bathroom.
Window. And the funny thing is, they pull it open and she goes through it.
She gets through it. She obviously has like a full foot of clearance space. And
then they just close it down. It's like, oh, can't get through. I'm like, that is so obvious. Guys.
Lift it, please? Just up?
I'm pretty much done.
Let me see.
There's not much to this movie.
There really isn't.
It's just a whole lot of nothing.
Like,
and a whole lot of nothing constantly repeated.
What it reminded me a lot of, and I know I'm making extreme comparisons here, is Sandy Hook, Lingerie Party Massacre. In that, here are a bunch
At least that had more locations.
Here are a bunch of girls that are here for virtually no reason. A person is killing them for virtually no reason, and there's no reason they can't escape. In fact, Sandy Hook even had it better than that because the hurricane was coming in, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was no reason that these people had to stay in this house. At all. Maybe they said it. Maybe we missed it. We were riffing it a lot during the movie. But if it takes a throwaway line to explain why you can't leave the house, then it's just a throwaway reason. Matthew, I believe that's all I have to say, as of yet. Give your final thoughts.
My final thoughts are simply as follows. This movie will be forgotten long before I am done speaking.
What movie?
The truth of the matter is, though, like, there was once in a while there would be something funny or something mildly interesting happening in the movie. And I can't, from my own perspectives, I can't really fault anybody for doing, the movies they want to do. But at the same time, guys, and Dennis, I'm talking directly to you
Dennis,
here.
Turn up the speaker.
This is directly for you. I know you can do better. I have that assurance in you that you can do better than this. Many people might say that the movies that I do and whatnot are not necessarily much better than this, depending on your preference. But at the same time, though, I know you can do better. Show me better.
That's the most motivational we've ever gotten on this.
Yeah, seriously. Stop making bad movies!
All right.
Don't follow Uwe's path, or Uli's path. Don't follow them. Don't follow Mr. Creepo's path.
Dakota.
Dakota,
he was such a slow decline, too.
Dakota, man, you have come to the top of our shit list here. All right.
My final thoughts.
The top 10 shits on shit list. Shit on ShitFlix.
My final thoughts on this movie. We have passed over it on Netflix so many times. And we've always just thought, we'll do it next time. Finally, we got to it.
Some other time.
Finally, we got to it. And I almost wanted more. Like, I was pissed during the movie. I was pissed during the movie because not a single character made sense. Not a single action they did made sense. Not even the reasons that led up to the entirety of the plot made sense. I was so pissed off because of that while it was happening. But once the movie ended, it left no impression. It left nothing on me. In a way, I feel like that's the exact same as, like, Get the Girl. Not a single thing in that movie left an impression on me. Character names will be gone momentarily. Plot details, by the end of the night, I'm sure. I cannot find a single reason to keep this in my mind at all, which might be the mark of a terrible movie if you can't even find a single reason to remember it.
I shall forget you.
Yes, that's honest to God. If you were to embed a secret message that only one person is knowing to look for in this movie, it would go by everyone else. Like, everyone else would be like, wasn't there a message? And it was like, oh, fucking hell.
That's the true insult, really. It's like, it's not only them. It's like, People will not love this movie or even remember it because it's hateful. They will simply just forget.
Exactly. And all in all, would I recommend it? It's, if you want to be angry while it's on, fine, go for it.
If you're attained by this, then you're just stupid.
It's not a good Alice film. It's not a good horror film. It's not a good film.
Watch what? Alice Returns to Oz is the...
Alice Returns to Oz.
Yeah, that one.
Alice Returns to Oz.
That is fabulous.
Alice.
Oh, sorry.
Oz.
Fuck you. Fuck you. They're both head trips and drug induced.
All right, and on that beautiful note,
Alice does return to Oz. You ever read the book Lost Girls?
I think we're done now. You know, Matt, thinking about it though, that ending just didn't make a damn lick of sense. It's so convoluted, so inane. You know, I think an ending like that could drive me a little bit insane.
David, do you think it actually did drive you insane?
No, silly. Why would I ever go insane from a movie? What about you?
Well, we all go a little mad sometimes.
Alright, look, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna get some salt for my bread. Okay, you're fun.